Hmm. Hey, hi, how are you? Welcome to Grimm's Midnight Commentary. This one is going to be a little bit more weird-ish, a little bit more depressing. Please bear with me. Um, in likely news, what's going to be happening recently is I plan on getting a neck tattoo tomorrow. I'm going to get it of the Berserk symbol. I don't know if I want to get it to the side or behind it. Just whatever comes up. I'll figure that out tomorrow because it is a permanent decision. So, oh boy, how's your day been? Hopefully, it's been well. Based off of recent events, it felt like my life was pretty much over. But before I continue on, this is going to be a little bit more of things off the top of my head, and then I'm going to go to like Reddit and start reading some things off of there and just. It's basically a good way for me to like keep things going whenever my brain goes into a fog or it just sits there and goes, nah, you know? Don't forget your hygiene. Your hygiene is very important. But based off of recent events, I felt like my life was pretty much over because the things that I had cherished and held very closely to me, especially, then decided to just. I'm going to try to give you an analogy. It's like you spend the entirety of building the sandcastle with all these people, and it turns out to be like super duper glorious, or shoot, even a Minecraft castle, Minecraft, whatever you build, it turns out to be this grand, majestic, wonderful thing like a dragon, right? Dragons are pretty cool and badass. Then eventually that wave or things become so barren and desolate that it's just like you can't stand to just be there anymore. You can't stand this, that, and the other third. It's like it's hard to move on even when you're trying. With the sandcastle, eventually it gets washed away. All that you really have is just the memories, the great times. Just I try to remain painfully optimistic or painfully positive because once I allow myself to feel that negative, it just starts piling on top, on top, on top, and it turns into a never ending rabbit hole to where it's like you start from like this very, very positive note and it just goes bam, bam, and it just starts quickly going bam, 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 until you're all the way at the bottom and you think that things are just horrible, worse. It can't get more horrid from there, and it just starts hammering on you like a damn. You're like a turtle just hiding in your shell, and they're beating the living daylights out of you while you're in that shell. And you know it's going to crack and they're going to get you eventually. But you somehow survive, and you just sit there, and it's like, I guess I gotta rebuild this home that I have. I guess I gotta rebuild everything better than it was before. You start connecting, you start going back to some old people. Or it's weird, it's like maybe some people have a sixth sense of just like how things have been going for you or whatever the hell. Speaking of that, I hate being like this. I have to go to Snapchat and keep my shrieks up. But those things decide to just. The things that you thought that you lost, well, some of them really. Some are lost, some aren't. And for you to find out what works for you, you're going to have to just gamble. You're going to have to gamble. Now, I know that gambling in itself is just it's a very, very risky endeavor. Either you stand to win it all, or you stand to just lose it all, you know? And a lot of people don't even want to take that chance, but I used to be a lot of those people, the same people that I would chastise, despise, the people that are deemed normal, this and the other stuff. I was that until I realized that by doing some things and getting outside of my comfort zone and etc., I learned to basically just thrive in the chaos. I've learned to do well under pressure because even whenever everything isn't working right, it's like you're still able to make some type of sense out of it, you know? You're still able to just keep on pushing and doing whatever you can. But enough about that. I'm worried about my future, about my past, if it ever comes up to anyone, because I like to believe that my past is a very, very dark thing. There are some things I'll talk about, there are some things that I won't, just like any other person. If I feel comfortable enough with it, yeah. If not, yeah. And I know yesterday in the video I said we gotta stop worrying about the future and all that, but I'm a living contradiction, this and the other third. It's like I'm trying to do everything that I can now to just live in the present, do and be happy with that. But then you also start looking towards the future. You start looking at the past. It's like everything, those three things then conjunct together like that. And you want to build towards the future, but it's just like you start worrying and you don't really able to just like enjoy what you have now. So I keep flip-flopping between those two, the future and present. And it makes me sad. And another thing is that I kind of hate calling upon people for help and stuff like that. So I'm fixing to shamelessly plug myself in right here. I've made a custom shop, just like an Jesus, I forgot. I would have to edit this video to put it in there, but shit. I'll just leave it in the description and in the comments and all that if you're very curious to just go and check that out. I like to believe if I am going to take someone's hard-earned money or whatever the hell, yes, I know I'm begging for money or whatever the fuck. We all need it to survive. I got a job and I'm still working on getting those skills and etc. because if I can be able to save up, I can be able to start taking some courses towards digital marketing, and that's essentially what I want to do, believe it or not. But damn, just had what I was thinking in my right there in my brain. It was right there. Oh yeah, I hate having to ask people for money and stuff like that, but if I do, I at least want to provide some type of value back to you, to where it's like at least you're getting something of equal value or something that you perceived as value, you know? Because I'm not fixing to just like ask and be like, hey, thank you. I want to at least try to give you something back in return because that's fair. And how rare is it that we get something that's fair, you know? My bad, me saying that just made me think about a lot of things. Life is never fair, so the best you can always try to do is just get even. I don't like the concept of just like having to work for like, this is going to sound crazy, but I specialize in crazy. I'm basically like the weird rebel outcast, whatever the hell, that person that's just on the outside, always doing and trying to look at things different than everybody else instead of just sticking with the program, because I'm trying to look at what rules that I find dumb and try to break it and then mold it into my own thing that would be what I perceive as fair, this, that, and the other third. It's just, I'm trying to find out what I'm able to do and how I can be able to just sustain and use that towards myself, which I learned I'm very good at problem solving. And there's not a lot of people that can problem solve. It's weird. It's like we can be able to solve everyone else's problems except for our own. When it comes to me and my own problems, I'm gonna be honest. Mental problems, financial issues. And battery level. Yeah, I know the battery level is high headset. Sorry about that. There was a slight audio delay. Hopefully that didn't screw things over. I really hope it didn't, because I'd hate to stop the video, pause it, and be like, okay, let's go, do this and the third, you know? Hopefully this catches this. I don't know why the headset does that. But yeah, the biggest things I'm facing are just mental problems, which I'm gonna be honest, I don't know if I can get rid of that forever or ever, you know? And then financial problems, but who the hell doesn't have that nowadays? Because after this video that I'm making, what I'm gonna go do is just, I'm going to go watch TV, hopefully something I really enjoy, and make some YouTube shorts and stuff. But deep-rooted trust issues, relationship problems, let's see. Basically a lot of the stuff that you probably have that I'm too afraid to admit when I really shouldn't be. I just want to like get away from like, yeah, get out of my state and just thrive and flourish somewhere nice, you know? And being able to just enjoy myself, because it's not that I'm owed it or whatever. I just want to, I don't know. I just have like this weird travel thing that I want to go and do, you know? Alright. And I got my phone pulled up and we're going to just go into r/deep thoughts. The amount of effort, suffering, and death that people will devote to tyrants is proof that most people's default mode is obedience, not defiance. From the user Pitiful Ear. This person says World War I, World War II, Cold War, Ukraine War, NK, oh yeah, North Korea, Iran, China, corrupt regimes and the governments and corporations all over the world. Billions with a B would rather fight and die for their cruel leaders than unite against them. Our default mode is obedience. Hence the pyramid class system has worked for centuries and will continue for the foreseeable future, even in some of the most democratic countries on earth. This other person named Affectionate Dog 6637 says, people are at best unthinking and at worst complicit. You want to know something? I think a lot. I do this, that, and the other stuff. It's just, I don't like to think I'm a smart person. I just like to think I have a lot on my mind. I always wanted to just be like perceived as dumb, this, that, or just be dumb. So that way it's like, the gift of being able to think, be creative, be whatever you perceive me as, is just shit. You can even perceive me as a bitch. I don't give a fuck. But when you're perceived as smart, or if you are smart, whatever the hell, right? It's just, it's never ending. You just want that off switch and it just never comes. Or if it does, it's probably you're doing something that's just like mundane or whatever. I don't know. I'm overthinking it too much right now, as you can clearly see. But people's default mode is just unthinking. They don't want to think. Why is that? Too much to be held over just all these other crazy things that we just sit there and we look at and we go, ooh wee. I don't want to think. I want to have someone already have this ordered out for me. And I have a really dear friend of me named Ryan who just, I love the guy, but it's just like, I would think that he would be better off being able to think for himself, being able to do this and the other stuff. And he's just like, no, I'd rather have someone tell me what I'm gonna do, this and the other stuff. I want like some type of order. Or I want it. I want someone to basically just like have that free willingness over me. And at first, I didn't understand it until I put myself in his shoes, and it's just like that's a lot easier. That's something more manageable than just being able to go in. Basically, I'm the opposite of just what he is, and it's just sure we might dislike some of the qualities, traits, or whatever that we have of each other, but it's just like I think that his life is a lot easier, and he might think that my life is a lot easier, but it's just when you're cursed with like, and when you're cursed and blessed with the thought of just free thought, it's free. You can go anywhere with it, but the problem is you can go anywhere with it. What I mean by that is just you make and you shape whatever comes to you. And a lot of people aren't used to just having those things where it's just unpredictable, unknown, or whatever, because it's scary. You don't know what it is. There's no certainty with it. Meanwhile, with me, my curious dumb but like, oh man, everyone will be like, no, don't go near that black portal. I will literally stick my fucking hand into it just to see what's there. And sure, if I get my hand ripped off, I'll be like, I'm the type of guy to where it's just like I will fuck around and find out. You can ask my friends. Sometimes I do it because I'm genuinely curious. Sometimes I do it to be stupid, even though I know what the outcome is. There's a joke that I like to do where it's just like I'm immortal. Every time I say it, something bad happens. But that's the joke. But just taking that easier route is just, I have this one personal thing that's on my mind that's just, it fucks with me. I'm sorry if I do keep bringing up my ex, but it's just the pain and shit is still fresh. I think the major reason why she disbanded a lot of the things that we wanted to do and etc., even if it might have been better, it might have not been, there was so much uncertainty with it, and a lot of people crave that familiarity, that we could have just had our own things or whatever, and it's just, you don't know how it could have went, or you think that it might go a certain way, but you don't know till you know. You don't know till you fuck around and you find out. I'm such an unstable or whatever the hell type of person to where it's just, I will make sure that we are taken care of. I will make sure that no harm will come to you at least. Like, I can make everything fine for that person, but myself, jeez. So I think what she did is she resorted back to just like the comfortability, the familiarity with just what she knows, what's around her, and etc., instead of like, no. The thing is, I don't know. And I scared the shit out of my ex. Not in like a terrifying way, but she's scared for me. Because of who and what I am, and that hurts. But at the same time, I understand. Now then. Someone else says being able to just lay low and then striking at the right time can also help. Alright, let's just try to find something else. I love this one right here. The user Duh, You're Aged says, I cannot stop reading. I have the urge to know more, to learn about everything. I am like a sponge, looking to soak up knowledge, discovering a new book to read or finishing a book you are currently reading is such. But what this person says is, whatever it was, maybe the title caught your eye, the book cover inspired you, and the author drew curiosity from you. Reading a book is fulfilling. Books are a primary source of information, sharing after word of mouth. Reading is truly essential. I am excited to share books, ideas, and thoughts. I love reading psychology, self-help, mind, body, spirit, memoirs, and biographies. I recently got into fantasy and science fiction mainly for the creativity aspect. I'm always curious to know what. What inspired a thought or idea? What are their experiences? I'm just curious to understand their mind better. I want to relate to understanding the creator better. Books help me receive that information. This is why I love to read. So many books have been written and are currently being written. The topics that strike my interest I read. I do not like to read on an electronic device even though I have. My preference is to have a physical copy of the book. A hardcover is preference. But I do enjoy listening to audiobooks as well. And then the rest of it is just kind of reiterating it. I love that absolute just passion for learning about things. Like, that's basically my entire shtick and spiel. I'm into too many things I like to believe. But it also doesn't make it boring. I like to believe that because of that, my creativity has blossomed from it as well. I really do love reading like actual hardcover books, like physical books, because it's just something more special about it that I actually can't put into words. But if I do read it online or whatever, it's like, thank goodness. The nothing can really happen to it because I read a lot on my phone. And thank goodness for that. I don't know why. That's just something that I really, really liked and wanted to get out. Oh boy, some of these things are just. Oh shit. I'm trying to find something decent to read. Because I'm going to do one more and I'm just going to like end it here so I can go and make those videos. Or continue if I keep finding more and more interesting things. Gotta go all the way back from at least like a week ago, you know. We simply don't have enough time. Rated RG for Pirates FU is the user. We simply don't have enough time. We don't have enough time to do everything, be everything, achieve everything, or experience everything we want to do. If life has any meaning, it must stem from our limitedness, definite and unreachable on a physical and metaphysical level. A poetic dichotomy of existing as entities which are incapable of an almost incomprehensible number of things due to our mortality, while also having a near limitless ethical potential during our finite lives. We can only interact with the world in a few and in a very finite ways. But how we process these interactions ethically determines how meaningful our life ultimately is. Let me not rush and just take my time with reading. It's a lot to read, that's why. Each day is full of an infinitesimal number of moral choices you decide to take, your free will carving a masterpiece of branch decisions that ultimately creates the canvas of your life from start to finish, to end at a singular fate. Many of those moral actions are seen by other humans and judged accordingly, some only known to yourself, performed when no one was watching. The knowledge of such experience is lost forever on the physical plane after your passing. That's deep. That's genuinely deep. What he means by that is there's only going to be some things in this world that only you know because no one is watching. For example, you can witness a miracle or you can witness a tragedy, and you are the only person that sees that. Do you know how daunting that can be? Sometimes you have to carry those things with you forever, or sometimes you might tell someone and you're the only person that's just stuck with it. Although the branch choices of your life are plentiful and many, that story is specific to you in a perfectly non-repeatable way that as a whole describes you in its purest form. Whether you were truly a good person and even determines whether you would like yourself as a person if your life was replayed to you as a spectator of your own existence. Our limitedness allows an ability to choose. Our limited time gives us an ability to be economically with our choices to live as fulfilling a life as we possibly can. This is, in my view, why there's never enough time. That was beautifully put. Very fucking beautiful. Very fucking beautiful. Basically, life is whatever the fuck you want it to be. You have very limited time on this earth to just do whatever sets your heart ablaze. If you want to go around doing harm to people, be prepared for harm to be done to you. Or hopefully your ass never gets away with it. Or you can help people and no one will know you. No one will. You'll be forgotten. Maybe you want to be forgotten. Maybe you want to be remembered. Or you just want to live a life of solitude with people. Your life can literally be whatever the hell you want it to be. The thing is, especially in a personalized case, which is me, I don't know what the hell I want my life to be yet. Like I said, I'm simple. I just want a family of my own. A nice to decent mid-sized house to where it's just, I want to roughly say 4 rooms, 2 bathrooms, that's it. Is it going to cost some extra shit? Yeah. But I want to work on something to where it's just I can personally have that for myself, you know? That's why I said I believe if I am going to ask for something, I want to be able to at least give you something in exchange. I like to believe in situations where it's just a win-win, you know? That's why it takes me a lot longer sometimes to find a solution or whatever, because I'm trying to find something that is going to benefit me, but I want it to benefit you so we can continue to keep benefiting each other until, unfortunately, we see that we can't, or whatever reason that's unforeseen. I don't believe in fucking people over unless it's justified, but justifying anything is truly subjective. Who we? But for me, I have a lot of things to work on, and I've really come to grips with it because some of these things are lifelong things you have to work on. Because even if I sit here and figure out what I want to be, what I want to do, it's just, am I going to be content and enjoy it? Because that's what I've been trying to do. What is it? When I was a kid, believe it or not, I wanted